For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kim Thompson, and together with our amazing essential oil team, we have been putting on a series of workshops the last, 6 weeks, 8 weeks or something, and this is the next one in our series. So this one is emotional detox using essential oils. So just like children, emotions heal when they're heard and validated. I absolutely love that saying. So why do an emotional detox? Well, do you ever feel like you're carrying around some extra baggage? Do you feel like you're repeating the same emotional patterns over and over? Are you often confused? Maybe you're unable to make life choices. You have a lack of direction in your life. You feel like you're failing to set and accomplish goals. Or maybe you're unable to accept and give compliments. Or worse still, you're unable to give or receive love. Maybe you lack success in your life, or you find that you're just having recurring illnesses with no apparent cause. So if you answered yes to any of these questions, then you're in the right place. This workshop is for you, and it's going to give you the tools to move forward in your life and find more freedom. So by the end of this workshop, you'll know how to do an emotional detox at home. Now, please note that this is not to replace a trained counsellor or psychologist, but it's an additional help. And, I love the saying that Kim uses, which is that it's another tool in your tool belt. So, it gives you something else that you can use to bring back some control in your life. So if you are having emotional issues and you feel like you need extra support, then reach out, speak to a doctor or a trained professional. Also, by the end of this workshop, you'll be able to begin to understand what role smell and, most importantly, essential oils actually plays with emotion. You'll learn about the connection between mind, body and spirit, and you'll discover how our emotional health is actually linked to our physical health. So, sorry, is that going to the next one? I would love to introduce my beautiful friend Kim Ellis. Kim has actually been helping women now for 17 years, probably even longer, to move forward in their lives. She's fascinated with the female brain and how women are actually wired differently to men. It's through her lovely, gentle manner that she's actually able to guide women on a journey back to finding themselves. So without further ado, I'll hand over to the amazingly talented Kim Ellis, who's going to be teaching today's workshop.
Thanks so much, Kim. I'm absolutely honoured to be on this call with you all today. This is my absolute passion, is to be able to help women, not just women, but help everybody. But predominantly I tend to be guided towards women, or women are the ones that seem to be guided towards me to be able to help. And possibly because, as Kim said, I guess I have been working in the circle with women for at least 17 years. And I guess what I came to discover that, I guess, we're all absolutely amazing. Every single one of us is on this earth because we were put here, because we are absolutely unique and absolutely amazing. But what I discovered, that so many women had so many blockages, and and you can probably see it within yourself or people around you. We see so much talent and so much I guess beautiful souls around us, but something stops women. And not only something stops them, something keeps them trapped within cycles. So they keep, we, because I'm absolutely included in that as well. We keep doing the same things, or we have patterns that appear within our families and so forth. And I guess when you understand a little bit about epigenetics, and I recommend Dr. Bruce Lipton if you want to do a little bit of reading around the biology of belief. But we actually have at least 50 trillion cells in our body, and what actually comes through is at least 10% coding from our father's family line up to 7 generations beforehand, and at least 10% coding on our mother's family line up to 7 generations beforehand. So we probably only know 2 or 3 generations back. and you will start to notice patterns within your family. And, you know, sometimes those patterns just don't serve us. And some of those patterns we really want to try and break that cycle. So, you know, I'm so grateful through I guess the study of epigenetics and all of those things, that we actually have the power within us to change those cycles and to break some of those cycles. So, you know, it's you know, sometimes, you know, we look at things and you'll notice within families, you know, that there might be alcoholism, or there might be domestic violence that goes 2 and 3 generations, or there might be child sexual abuse that goes 2 or 3 generations. So I just think it's so powerful that we have tools that we can put into our tool belt that help us to break those cycles. And I guess, you know, through, I ran retreats for women with 8 women every 6 weeks come through retreats for 3 years. And, you know, it's so powerful when I came across essential oils, that it was an incredible tool that we can all put in our tool belt. And it's something, you know, that's tangible. You don't have to wait until your appointment's there to see a psychologist or counsellor or whatever that may be. And as Kim said, they are such an extremely important part within our tool belts as well. But to have something that you can physically pick up and start to make some changes and change that frequency within yourself within a matter of seconds, you know, you can change the way you're feeling. And I think that's something really powerful. And I guess it's one of the most, I guess for me, when I came across essential oils, it was one of the most powerful parts for me to discover essential oils, and then to start to help other people. And I've had many people walk through my front door that have been absolutely so in a really dark space, emotionally, shuffling their feet at the end of their rope, so to speak. And we've been able to transform that person right now. It's not the, you know, it's not a something that's going to fix it, because we know that it's not just one thing. It's a whole circle of things that change it. So, but I certainly believe that you know, our feelings kit is one of the most powerful kits, or one of the most powerful tools that we can pop in our tool belt and use with ourselves and our family. So my journey started 4.5 years ago, or just over 4.5 years ago, when my hormones were, as Kim would have talked about on our previous workshops, I really had a major crash in my hormones. And that was attributed to, I guess, working in the skincare and beauty industry for a lot of years and using products that weren't natural products. Well, we thought they were, but obviously the label didn't indicate that once you started to read ingredients. But that caused my body to completely shut, and I had I lost my speech, and I lost, I didn't know whether I had a heart attack or a stroke. And, you know, that was a really big wake-up call from the universe that I had to make some changes. So obviously through several things that with naturopaths and use of the oils, and obviously I'd consulted my doctor, that, you know, I brought myself back around. But it was a real part of my healing journey, and the feelings kit was the first kit that I got, and it was an integral part of my journey. It was kind of like we continued to push ourselves, and I was running a multi-million-dollar business, and you know, running 3 meetings a week. And like us, like women, or like most of us, we push ourselves and we leave very little time for ourselves. We're mums, we're lovers, we're wives, we're the cook, the cleaner, and we're trying to, you know, create businesses and run work in executive positions and so forth, and we wonder why we burn out. Well, I was one of those people that had totally burnout crashed, and thankfully I've been able to to make some really positive changes and take control back of where I am. So why do an emotional detox? Well, most of our belief system is set within us by the time we're 8 years old. So, there's, and some of those things that we've believed to be true over the first 8 years of our lives aren't necessarily what we believe to be true now. But those belief systems are already set within our DNA, and they, and they don't necessarily serve us. So the more and more the evidence is accumulated that our emotional health can have a profound effect on our physical health, and that was certainly the case for me. It can affect our body systems, and it can affect so many things within our life. So what roles does smell play with the emotions? Well, scents have a remarkable ability to influence the whole person, the body, the mind, and the spirit. And will talk about a little bit more about that more. So the sense of smell is 10,000 times more acute than other senses. So it plays a really big part within our brain, and those molecules travel up our nose, where they're registered by the nerves of the olfactory membrane in the nose lining, and the odor is perceived by the olfactory receptor cells. When an odor stimulates a receptor, the cells send an electrical impulse to the olfactory bulb, where odor patterns are interrupted as different smells. The olfactory bulb is part of the limbic system, the emotional center of the brain, and the smell is closely connected to the amygdala and the hippocampus, structures that influence our behavior, mood, and memory. So that's, our essential oils are so powerful. That sense of smell, as we inhale those oils, cross the blood-brain barrier, enter into the amygdala, and start to cause us they're connected with feelings that we have. They're connected with past memories, good or bad, and we can actually, you'll know as some things that you smell will trigger memories in you. So our sense of smell is definitely related to our emotional state. So what role does the smell play on our emotions? Various aromas evoke memories, especially with emotional overtones. Now, you may, if you just close your eyes for a moment, you may remember a memory back when you were a child, because we can generally remember back when we were a child. And maybe it was when your mother was baking, and that smell of those freshly baked cookies or cake came out the oven. Or maybe out in the garden and a smell of a citrus tree that evokes memories. So, we've all got connections back to different memories that come through from our sense of smell. So the sense of smell is wired differently from other sense, and it elicits emotional responses where the rational brain responds to the other four senses. So, as we say, that sense of smell, the inhalation of an oil will actually trigger many, many emotions. So, I find that oil's such a powerful part of our toolbox, and I'm sure many of our members that are online will, that we all have our special oil that we really love, that really triggers something beautiful within our brain. So let's talk a little bit more about the feelings kit. So as I said before, this is absolutely one of my favorite kits, and I actually gift this kit to myself every 3 months, once a quarter. Change of season is how I do it. So as we start to change a new season, I gift myself this oil kit because I believe it's part of my emotional well-being. It's part of my self-care program. It's part of my wellness, my emotional wellness program. And what we, I guess for all of us, the only person that can heal ourselves is ourselves. I have many people come to me and they're absolutely not in good places. And, not one of the hardest, but one of the biggest lessons that people need to hear is you are the only one that can heal yourself. So even though they come to me for help, I can't heal another person. Just like you can't heal another person. The only person that can heal is yourself. So you're the only one that you can heal yourself. You are the only one that knows your unique blueprint. So it's really important, and I think sometimes we keep looking for others to fix us or to make us feel better or to make us happy or to whatever it is that you've got going on. We keep looking for external things to help. But in actual fact, it's an inside job. You are the only one that can heal your soul. And we've all got varying degrees of things that we need to be healed within our soul. Every single one of us has things that we need to continually do the work on ourselves. So this feelings kit was created by Gary Young, and it actually goes back to ancient Egypt. And fortunately, he was able to have transcribed from the walls of the pyramid or the temple were the transcripts of how these oils were put together. So this goes back a very long time, but it's a beautiful blend that you will be able, each bottle has a beautiful blend that you'll be able to use. So Gary Young says it's the first step to releasing negative emotions and erasing memories of experience that have a negative impact on our life. The 6 oil blends are specifically formulated by Gary Young himself, and it provides the foundation for balancing energy, forgiveness, and balancing negative emotions as we are promoting positive emotional and spiritual well-being. So if we use this beautiful feelings kit for 30 days, you will guarantee you will feel absolutely fantastic. Your life will be full of excitement and people will be drawn to you like a magnet. So this is kind of like our emotional detox program. It actually, we all accumulate different things that happen from different events in our life. And it's really important that we continually to do the work on ourselves so we can help release those negative emotions, or those ancient deities like Gary Young used to call it. So just before we get started and go through the feelings kit, I just want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine in front of yourself there is a TV screen. And what I want you to do is put your hands out so I want you to first put your family or your loved ones or someone really important to you in your life right now. I want you to put them on that TV screen and put your hands out the front where you can imagine that person sits on your TV screen. And then I want you to put your other hand out and I want you to put where you sit on that TV screen. And as I can see, most people put themselves under other people all the time. And as women and as people, we're very good at putting others first. And we put ourselves at the bottom of the pile a lot of the time. So we make sure everyone else is happy. We make sure everyone else has got all their needs. But as women, particularly as women, and to men as well, but we tend to not have value on ourselves. We put everybody else first, make sure everybody else's emotions are sorted, and then everybody's happy, and then somewhere we put ourselves on that TV screen, and it's 99.9% of the time it's underneath everybody else. So while you've got your eyes closed, if you haven't closed them again, and I want you to move the hand that represents you at the top of the TV screen. So close your eyes, a little practice, and just imagine yourself being put to the top of the TV screen over there. You're watching a movie and you're actually going to be at the top. Okay, open your eyes now, and I want you to, if you feel yourself not giving yourself value and self-love and self-value, I want you to do that little exercise. Just really be present. Where are you on your TV screen? And if you find yourself down here, I want you to move yourself back up to the top of that TV screen and really put that value on yourself. Okay, just a couple of guidelines as we go through. So when I do this, as I said, I do this every quarter and sometimes more if I'm finding that I need a little bit of a boost. But I usually make sure you're in a really beautiful, quiet and relaxing location. It's actually better to have no music, because that actually takes our mind away. We drift away and we go off with the music. I want you to be really present with yourself right now, because when you're present with yourself, that's when some of the emotions or the suppressed emotions will be able to come up. You're sending a message to your higher self that you're ready to move these emotions. So dim the lights if possible. You can be fully clothed or partially undressed, whatever's easier for you. We're actually going to be putting some of the oils on our liver, stomach, our navel, and our chakras. We drop the oils from 5 to 15 centimeters from the body. This will ensure that the energy from the essential oil actually travels through the aura, and as well as coming in contact with your skin. So, we make sure that it actually comes through the aura and then through. Take time with this, because this is your self-care. And remember, you are so worth it. And when you're finished, allow yourself a few minutes of time alone and think and regain composure. And then if you really want the biggest impact of what this kit can do, you need to do it every day for 30 days. And I promise you, this will be life-changing for you if you commit to that. So you can take your time if you like, or you can, I usually give myself about an hour to do this. And I either sit on my yoga mat or I sit on my bolster, because I have tight hips sometimes. So I might just find a really beautiful place. You can sit outside by the lake, the beach, around your garden, or you can sit somewhere beautiful in your home somewhere that you feel really relaxed, in a beautiful environment. So let's start with the first oil. So our first oil that we're going to use is our Valor. So Valor is a beautiful oil, blend of oils, and it represents courage. Valor means having courage. And it is quite a low frequency oil, and it's used to align and balance our physical and our skeletal system. So it'll help balance our whole physical and skeletal system and keep us really grounded. Now you'll hear with a lot of things, the Valor balance, and this is what the first step is for us right now, is to do a Valor balance. So that's why I sit cross-legged on the floor to do it, or you can sit cross-legged on your bed, or you could even be sitting in the bath. It's up to you where you want to do this. So how we do it, we place 3 drops of our beautiful Valor onto our left hand, and then we rub 3 times clockwise, and that actually energizes the oil. Then I want you to cup it over your nose. Take 3 beautiful breaths right down into your tummy. Don't have shallow breaths up into your chest. 3 beautiful, big, deep breaths right into your tummy. And then what's left on your hand, you hold your feet. So your right hand will hold your left foot, and then your left hand will be on the cup of your right foot. And then I want you to sit for 1 to 2 minutes and really ground yourself and start to balance those, all your oil, like start to ground yourself and balance your energies within your body. Okay, so step 2, we're going to move through to just talk to you a little bit about our mind, body, and spirit connection. So the ancients believed that healing was bound up and appeasing the spirit world, pleasing the gods, and combating curses. This is why they gave offerings to their gods. So those of you that have been to some of the Asian countries, you'll know that they'll leave little offerings out to the gods. They believed that illnesses came from the disharmony between the human realm and the spirit realm. So a lot of incense and fragrances acted to calm the wrath of the gods, so they would look kindly at the misdeeds of man and give them protection. Upon reading many of the ancient texts, we see evidence of this, including using animal blood and hyssop on the door frames, cleaning the altars with onycha, and burning sprigs of cypress. The Greek temples, prayers and sacrifices were given, while the sick were physically cared for. Often they were given the information from the high priest and then went home to heal yourself. So we've always used that sense of smell a lot of time, and a positive attitude is extremely important in any healing process and should be emphasized. Now, there is now a return to thinking of the people as a whole being, the body, the mind, and the spirit connection. And health experts are beginning to recognize the connection between physical disease and emotional turmoil. And researchers show that stress and other negative emotions compromise our immune function. So you'll hear that a lot of people when they're stressed, or you know yourself if you're really stressed, sometimes you might come down with a cold or headache or whatever. So what's unbalanced within our within our emotional body often shows up in our physical body. And times of sadness and grief, you'll feel it around your heart chakra. So this brings us to our next essential oil, and which is aptly named harmony. So we're going to really bring ourselves into harmony. Now, harmony is an absolutely incredible blend. Harmony gives us expressive creativity and feelings of confidence. It helps to reduce stress and create an overall sense of well-being. Harmony is the blend that has the essential oils of some of my favorites: Royal Hawaiian sandalwood, lavender, ylang-ylang, frankincense, orange, angelica, geranium, hyssop, sage, Northern Lights black spruce, coriander, bergamot, lemon, jasmine, and Roman chamomile. Palm rosa and rose are in it. So as you can see, there's so many incredible oils in there that each work to balance all our chakras. So same thing, 3 drops of harmony onto our left hand, and then we're going to activate the energy in the oil in circular motion 3 times. And then I want you to take 3 beautiful, big, deep breaths right down into the tummy again. Take those deep breaths. And then when you've finished, I want you to use what's left on your hands up onto our crown chakra, into our 3rd eye, down onto our throat chakra, down into our heart chakra, our solar plexus, our sacral chakra, and then of last down into our root chakra. So there'll be diagrams that we'll be able to send you if you're not really sure about where those chakras are and the importance of balancing those chakras. And as you go through this step, you might say, I live each day in harmony with others and the earth. And really put yourself into a place of feeling in complete harmony with yourself, with others, and with planet Earth. And feel the calmness that comes within your soul as you start to inhale and exhale and really sit with yourself around that beautiful oil. Okay. So there's 5 stages of healing, and the best thing is the essential oils can help with all 5 stages of healing. So essential oils assist in healing the physical body, what we've talked about. So, you know, that can support your whole body. Essential oils can assist in healing the heart, and that's something that I've really found so beneficial myself. We have some incredible blends that really help to support when you've had a lot of grief in your life, when you've had a lot of emotional turmoil in your life, a lot of sadness in your life. You know, there's some incredible blends of oils to use to support you in that part of your journey. And as I said, that's, you know, for those that don't know me, I was only 23 when I lost my first husband of a brain tumour. So I had a lot of grief very early on in my life. And of course, there's been other things like all of us. So there has been a lot of grief and a lot of sadness. And I've found that the oils have really supported me like unbelievably in helping me around those things. We talked about essential oils and releasing limiting beliefs because, as we said, most of our belief system is already set in place within our DNA at the time we're 8. And that doesn't necessarily, not every belief system that we've had over the years doesn't necessarily serve us to support us in what we believe to be true right now. So, as I guess we become more aware and as we get older, we start to ask the question. I ask myself, hang on a minute, is that actually what I believe to be true? Or was that something that I was told by my mother, my father, my teacher, whoever who was as part of my people around me, or my village of people around me when I was a little girl? Is that actually what I believe to be true now? And I question myself all the time around my belief system, because a lot of my belief systems I don't believe the same thing now. So always be mindful and ask yourself, is this what I believe to be true? Or is it something that I've been told about? And belief systems are something like simple things like, oh, things happen in threes. You know, I guess we've all have some type of, I know I did, I was always told by mum, oh, things always happen, oh, there's 2, you know, that's the first bad thing, that's the second bad thing, things always happen in threes. Well, I actually don't believe that to be true. That's an example of what a belief system is. So you'll start to be more aware and just ask yourself, is that actually what I believe to be true? Essential oils increase spiritual awareness and connection, and that's something so absolutely true. The more we inhale and the more we cross that blood-brain barrier, and the more that we tap into the amygdala, that we start to activate loads of things within our brain that starts to connect us to a higher purpose. And essential oils inspire the fulfillment of our life's purpose. So once we can start to unpack all of those limiting beliefs and negative emotions or past traumas and all of those things, if we can start to peel those layers off around our onion, and rather than just diverting, I find a lot of people don't actually face what's going on within their soul because it's too painful or too scary. And that can be the case. But the more that we keep just suppressing and suppressing and suppressing emotions, I can guarantee you they will raise their ugly little head and it'll go off like Krakatoa. So the more that we can, emotions are great things. We need to be able to feel those emotions. So then once we are aware, we can feel and acknowledge, well, then we can start to work on those emotions. So try not to keep stuffing things down. A lot of people just keep stuffing them down or putting them into a cupboard and shutting the drawer, and another cupboard and shutting the drawer and another cupboard. And so, that can be really toxic to yourself. So, as painful as it can be sometimes, I really encourage you to, when things come up, acknowledge it. What is it how did that make me feel? Okay, what if somebody has done something or whatever, and you're so angry or you're so hurt, and I want you to acknowledge, how did it make you feel? So continue to ask yourself, how did that make me feel? Did it make me sad? Did it make me angry? Did it make me feel like I was betrayed? Did it make me whatever? Or didn't make me feeling that I wasn't important? Whatever it is, whatever emotion that comes up for you, I want you to acknowledge it. I want you to write it down, and then you can start to deal with it. So the next oil that we're going to go through is our forgiveness. Now, this is, I would say, one of the most powerful blends as part of your healing process. So we use forgiveness to forgive our own mistakes and those of others. So forgiveness is for our own benefit so that we can move forward in our life. It's a blend that has an essential oils of Melissa, which is a really powerful oil, geranium, frankincense, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, coriander, angelica, lavender, bergamot, lemon, ylang ylang, jasmine, helichrysum, Roman chamomile, palm rosa, and rose in it. So it's another incredibly high frequency oil. So this is one of the most powerful oils that I find that's in our whole kit. And it's something that we truly need to, we don't have to agree with what has happened, somebody's done to us or whatever, but we need to forgive that other person so that we can move forward. If we don't forgive ourselves or that forgive the other person, we will keep spinning the wheels and we will keep making the same mistakes and we will keep getting the same thing happen to us over and over again. And I don't know if if you can go back into times within your life where you keep getting the same lesson. That's, we need to listen to what that lesson is. And sometimes or all the time we have to forgive ourselves and we have to forgive other so that we can move forward. And you might like to say a little affirmation. I forgive all those who have done wrong by me, and I forgive myself for allowing that to happen. So, you know, have total forgiveness to yourself. So same thing, 3 drops onto your left hand, activate the energy in the oil. 3 beautiful deep breaths right down into your tummy. And then what's left, I want you to use your right hand going clockwise and thinking of situations that you need to forgive. So I'd like to close my eyes when I'm doing this, and around my navel clockwise, and it might be, you know, I forgive myself for letting others treat me that way. I forgive whatever might have happened, you know, somebody that might have done something to me that I felt betrayed. I felt, you know, go through those emotions and let those situations go, because it doesn't serve you to hang on to that stuff. They're heavy emotions. And just imagine yourself with a suitcase on your back and you're dragging around all those heavy emotions. You know, it gets heavy, and it's really heavy on your soul. So the more that we can release those things that have happened to us, or that someone may have done to us, is the easier and the quicker that we can move forward with our life. So let's talk about some stored emotions. Emotions that we have faced, accepted and dealt with are stored as intellectual memories. This is similar to walking down a street and falling in a pothole. The next day, or for some of us, it may take a few days, our intellectual memory kicks in and reminds us what we've learnt the day before, so we don't repeat the behaviour again. So we also have experience or emotions that are not quite ready to process. And the amygdala assigns part of the body to remember the emotional experience as trauma until we are ready to deal with it. Then it passes it on to the frontal lobe, where it can be consciously recalled. And that's where we talk about suppressed emotions. We revisualize, we re-experience. And the body that has more than 100 trillion cells, each with a strand of DNA, capable of storing up to 6 gigabytes of memory. The emotional brain can delegate any place in your body to store a feeling or an emotional memory, and you never run out of memory storage place. So, you know, so if you just close your eyes now and think of something in your life that was traumatic or that was painful, and it may go back to when you're a little girl or a little boy. And I want you to really be present about where you feel that within your body. So as I talked about sadness and grief, sometimes that can be up, you know, around the middle of your chest. Sometimes we might feel pain within our back, or we might feel it at the side, or we might feel it wherever that pain might be stored. So as you start to use forgiveness, I want you to be really conscious where that pain is stored within your body, and so that you can release that pain from your body. And I want you to see it actually leaving your body as you take those deep breaths around your navel. And I want you to envision that stored, trapped energy within your body is slowly and releasing and moving right away from where it is within your body. It's a beautiful oil. Okay, so let's talk about releasing some of those emotions. So, as I said before, scientists know through the study of epigenetics that we actually store past patterns and emotional traumas from up to 7 generations beforehand from our father's and mother's family line. So basically, we've all got a whole heap of stuff already stored within us when we're born. And then, of course, life happens, and then we accumulate more trauma, more negative emotions, more things that have happened to us, more things that that we haven't really dealt with. So emotions and feelings can stem, as we say, right back, and they definitely will stem right back into the womb. One of the most incredible books that I love to use is Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils by Carolyn Mean. So that's the book there. I really encourage you to invest in that book as you start your own healing journey. You can get it I got that from the Book Depository. I think it's about $30 and of course free postage. But I really encourage you to, if there's one book that you want to invest into as you start your own healing journey, that is the book that I'd really recommend that you use. Okay, so just moving through to our next oil, and that is the Release blend. So with Release, we use Release blend oil to release feelings associated with trauma and anger and bring about a sense of peace and emotional well-being. Release is a beautiful blend of oil. Now, when we go through, a lot of us, well, 99.9% of us have past anger or past hurt or resentment or betrayal or any of those emotions, and those emotions are generally stored in our liver. So, if you've had a lot of past trauma in that way, or you can feel yourself getting really angry, if somebody does something or says something, it reconnects and you just go off. You have so much anger built up with, and it's not actually because the child's dropped something on the floor, and normally that wouldn't make you angry, but if we don't deal with these emotions, they build up. Imagine a neurological pathway in your brain that's coded around anger or resentment or betrayal. And if we don't deal with these things, what actually happens the next time that something happens that makes us angry, it connects with this time and this time and this time and this time and this time of all of those times in our life that we've felt angry. Let's just use anger for an example. So it all connects, and then so back here we mightn't have felt it so bad within our body, but as the more it happens, the more it builds up and up and up and up and up, and it all connects in together until we absolutely explode. So that we don't get to that point, so let's try and create a new neurological pathway within our brain, because I guess the more that we keep going over, it's like a racetrack. The more we go over a racetrack, or the more we tell our story of what happened to us or what's happened to us in our life, that's why it doesn't always serve you to continue to tell your story over and over and over again, because you're actually making the neurological pathway within your brain deeper and deeper and deeper. So we don't necessarily want to do that, because it becomes more painful and more painful. So, or it might be around hurt, that we feel hurt. And then the next time somebody hurts you, that adds to it and adds to it and adds to it until it becomes so crippling within us. So we want to create a new neurological pathway and kind of put an end to that one that makes us feel like that. So if we can, at a time when you're feeling angry or you're feeling hurt or you're feeling betrayed or you're feeling whatever that emotion is for you, this is when I really love to use Release. In fact, I use it within my feelings kit, but Release oil, I buy a separate bottle, and it's something that I place on my liver most days, nearly every day, because there are things that I do not want to get trapped up in my body and do not want to get trapped in my neurological pathways within my brain. I want to create a new neurological pathway, which is neuroplasticity, and I want to create and get rid of those things that really make me feel like I'm hurt or angry or betrayal or resentment or any of those emotions. So again, same process, 3 beautiful big deep breaths down into your tummy, and you may say something like, I lovingly release all feelings of hurt and anger and betrayal and resentment that I have stored in my body, and really release those. It does not serve you to hang on to those. So that's a really powerful blend. The next oil that we use, so there's a little bit about the Dr. Carolyn Mean. So, she identifies the pattern that's linked to the emotion and gets you to understand the pattern, learning the lessons by discovering the way out of the situation and clearing and reprogramming the pattern in the body's cellular memory. So, it will show you in the book where to place oils, what affirmations to say, and how to really shift those emotional patterns that we all have. Every single one of us have, and a lot of them, as I said, they are from birth, and then of course life happens, which creates more patterns within us. And we're a work in progress. As I said, it's like an onion. We start to peel the layers off, and sometimes stuff, once our subconscious mind knows that we're ready to actually work with something, it'll pop another memory up that might have been one of those suppressed emotions that were too painful, because your subconscious mind will not bring things into your awareness unless you're ready to work through them. Sometimes when we have really traumatic experience or things that happen in our life, it's too painful for us to deal with, so our body protects us. Your subconscious mind's job is to protect you, and it will actually suppress those emotions. And that's why when people start to do work on themselves, that they start to release some of these suppressed emotions sometimes, and they can be painful. But remember, they're better to come out, because then we can actually, once we can acknowledge them, we can work through them, and we can start to heal ourselves. And that's such a beautiful part of our healing process. So the next oil that we're going to use is Present Time. And this is something that I've particularly used over in our lockdown state, in our isolation, is because we really only have control of the present time. What's happening right now is all that we have control over. If you are too focused on what's happened in the past and you keep going over those stories of what may have happened to you in the past, it can cause you to feel depressed and sad. So if you feel yourself being stuck on those stories that have happened in the past, you will find that you will feel sad and possibly depressed. If we focus too far forward, we will actually, that is what can cause you to feel really anxious and feel the anxiety within yourself. So even though we need to kind of set goals and things within our life, don't go too far forward, because that can make a lot of people feel really anxious. So present time is all, as I said, is all that we have. So if you find yourself in either of those places, too far what's happened to you in the past, or worrying what's going to happen in the future and feeling really anxious and overwhelmed, present time will be your best friend. So again, inhale those 3 beautiful breaths right down into your tummy, and place a drop of over the thymus, which is just underneath your breastbone. And you might say, I choose to be present and enjoying living in the moment. And this is something Present Time is definitely an oil I've had to use a lot in the last 6 weeks, is to keep myself in present time. This kit has been an absolute lifesaver to me in the last 6 weeks in our isolation. It's given me a lot of time to sit and think, and I think for a lot of people, a lot of mums in particular that are working and running kids and pick to school homework, after school activities, we are diverting what's really happening in our life. And if one positive thing's come out of this isolation, it's brought us all back to our soul. It's brought us all back home. It's given us some time, and it's allowed us to start to work through some of those things that we possibly were diverting around. We were, I used to be that person that would go and just bounce from one thing to the next thing. And so I didn't necessarily have to face what was actually going on or whatever was going on. I used to just fill those holes. We have all these, imagine a piece of Swiss cheese with all the holes in it. And, what we do is we fill those holes within our soul with all different things. It could be things like alcohol, it could be food, it could be drugs, it could be shopping, it could be loads of different things. But that's how I imagine, we've got to try and bring our soul back to being one thing, not with all these holes in like a piece of Swiss cheese. Because if you can identify with yourself, a lot of people emotionally eat. I used to be one of those people that just go and shop and buy things all the time. So I used to fill a lot of my holes in my core with shopping. So we all have different things that we fill those holes in our time. So if we can bring ourselves back to present time, it certainly brings us back into what is happening right now, and we start to do the work within ourselves. So, okay, so the next negative experience and ideas are recorded on our brains and locked into our memories throughout our lives. These memories range from mild to extreme and have a profound effect on our health and our happiness. In order to become who we are intended to be, we must erase these negative and reprogram our thoughts to make positive ideas our reality. And that's a beautiful quote by Gary Young, our founder of Young Living. And it's so true. It can be painful, but know that as you do the work, you'll come through the other side, and it'll be so worth it. Trust me. Okay, the last oil in our kit is our inner child. And this helps us to stimulate memories to reconnect with our inner self and our own identity. So inner child is a beautiful blend of oils. Again, all of these blends in this kit are exceptional. And this will really help to bring you back to your inner child. And we'll place a finger underneath our nose and take after you do your 3 inhalations, always 3 inhalations, because I find that if you can get those oils to cross through the blood-brain barrier, and then what's left, just place underneath your nose and take another 3 big breaths. And then what's left, you can pop it around your navel again, and that will reconnect you back to your inner child. And, because that, I guess, what changes is like, we've all got that little girl still inside of us. She might be a little bit jaded, battered. She might be a little bit, gone through complete turmoil, but she's still there. And that little girl wants to come back out and play. So the more that we can connect back to our inner child, where you had no cares in the world and you're happy and you're free, really try to bring back that memory and connect back to that little girl. She's still there. You look in the mirror, into those eyes, into the mirror. Your eyes don't change. And we may have not treated her, that little girl, the right way. But now, from today, I want you to start to really treat that little girl in the mirror and bring it back out to play and start to have some fun in your life and bring back that inner child where everything's not so deep and dark and heavy on your soul. Okay, so what changes will I notice? I guess the goal of the emotional detox is to allow the oils to gently shift the electrical energy and to release the emotions that have been stored away, those suppressed emotions or the ones we've kept shoving down because they're too painful. So gently is the key. The response in doing an emotional detox are varied as any part of doing any detox, whether it's a detox within your body or whatever. So just allow to what comes up for you, allow it to come up, and trust yourself that what comes up will serve you by coming up, and you can release those emotions and detox those emotions that no longer serve you. There's no wrong or right reactions. Some people may experience an outpouring of emotions, while others may just experience a deep state of relaxation. Some people report feeling really lighter, happier, and more centered. Some people have even experienced physical benefits after using the feelings kit during the 30 days of emotional detox. And I know for myself, when I've used it, my actual body has physically released stuff or crap that's been stored up in it, which is great. My actually body has physically released a lot of the stuff. Sometimes you'll have tears pouring down your face. Other times you'll be totally blissed out. So whatever happens within your body is perfectly okay. Just trust that what's going to happen in your body is exactly what it's meant to happen. Okay, and then to finish off our beautiful thing, we always lock in. We started with Valor and we finish with Valor. So Valor, as I said, it will bring you back to feeling grounded and centered, and it really in a place that you have so much courage to go and face the world and to live a higher self, to go back into your purpose. If you can release all of these stored emotions and things that aren't serving you, then you'll be able to go back into your life's purpose and really start to embrace your life, to live your life that your heart starts to sing. That's the thing. If we can just live our life that our heart's singing, that's what we're meant to be doing. We're not meant to be in so hard that things just get so difficult to get through. Okay, so as I said, we finish off with Valor. So after applying the essential oils and releasing those emotional toxins that are stored within our body, I always recommend with my clients, and I do it with myself, I drink lots of water to start to flush out my system, just as if you're flushing out your body. Remember, they're trapped within your body. You might just sit for a little while and meditate and really listen to what's coming up into your mind and start to journal. So give yourself 5 minutes after you go through the process at least to sit there and start to journal what's actually coming up within you. Acknowledge it, and then we can work through it. Okay, so I love this kit, as I said. Kim, do you want to go through how we can?
I do, but I want to thank you firstly, because you are so amazing. I could listen to your voice. It just, not only do the oils make me feel calm, but your voice makes me feel super calm. And I know that you use this, you've used it so many times, and even women that you've used the feelings kit with, have told me stories about how you got them started with the feelings kit and the emotional place that they were in, and how they really felt like they came out of such a dark place. And, and they obviously attribute a lot of that to you and your work and knowledge, but also to this amazing feelings kit. So we are so blessed.
But that's the key. People say, Kim, you've helped. Yes, I might. But I've only been the facilitator, same as each and every one of us. we can be the facilitator. We can be there to hold space. And, you know, as human beings, if we can hold space for other people while they heal, and it's just fortunate that they've walked into my space, I've held the space and facilitated for them as they've started their own healing journey. Because remember, they're the only ones that can heal their soul. We've all got stuff that we need to work with. You can either keep diverting, or you can actually face it and start to heal. And I'm just grateful that I can hold that space for other people.
Yeah. So you're probably wondering, if you haven't already got a feelings kit, how do you order one? So like any of our workshops, get back in contact with the person who invited you today, and they'll be able to help you get started. There are 2 ways that you can order any of the products from Young Living. One is retail and one is wholesale. If you want to grab this kit at the retail price, it's $393.10. Or best of all, you can actually save 24% off. So it's like $100 difference. Brings it down to $298.75 with that wholesale price. And Young Living has recently changed the way that you can get started. So with a customized enrollment order, you can actually get a free wholesale account. It used to cost you $59 to buy a basic starter kit, and then you would have to buy the feelings kit. Now you can jump on, you can customize your enrollment kit and actually add the feelings kit as your very first order. Or, you know, if you want to jump on Essential Rewards, and, you know, as Kim said, she orders one of these kits every 3 months. So, you know, it's quite amazing. Best of all, with the wholesale account, there's no fees to pay. You can keep your membership with just an annual purchase of what we call 50 PV. So, you know, it's a great way to get started with Young Living by using the feelings kit. And as always, we've got some free gifts for you. So in addition to that free wholesale account, which saves you the $59, you'll get the 24% off all future purchases of Young Living. Not that you're locked into any contracts or anything like that. You don't have to continue buying anything. But if you do want to, maybe you want to try out some skincare, some makeup, some cleaning products, these more essential oils, then you actually save 24% off all those future purchases. You'll get access to our amazing Emotional Detox Facebook group. So we'll send you out an email after today's workshop with a link to join that group if you're not already in our Emotional Detox Facebook group. This group actually offers support and resources. There's a couple of other videos that Kim and I have done in that group to help you and support you as you go through your 30-day detox protocol. You'll also, if you join our team, you'll get 3 free ebooks to help you not only ditch the emotional toxins, which obviously come, you know, with the feelings kit, but you'll also learn how to ditch the nasty chemical toxins from your life as well with our 3 books. What if I wouldn't eat it, I wouldn't put it on my skin, the all natural cleaning guide, and our oily welcome book. And you'll get to join a community online of people who are here to support and encourage you on your journey. And you really can't put a price on that these days, you know, especially because we're stuck at home, we're a bit isolated, and, you know, it's really good to be part of a community where people are lifting each other up and supporting each other. So you get all of that with your feelings kit. So again, I would like to say my extreme thank you and appreciation to the lovely Kim Ellis. Thank you to all of you for being on. Kim is, you know, our guru when it comes to personal development and emotions and all of that kind of stuff. So we feel so blessed to have her in our team, and you know, that she's given up time this afternoon to share all of this with you. So thank you. Did you want to say anything before I finish, Kim?
Oh, just thank you everyone for being online, and, you know, I really encourage you to put yourself at the top of that TV screen. Invest in yourself. You are so worth it. And remember, the more that you change and invest in yourself, the bigger influence you're going to have on your children, on your people around in your circle, you know, just people in your life. So, you know, really put value on yourself, because I know that's something that we're not so good as doing as women. We're happy to have everybody, make sure everyone else, but we forget about ourselves. So oxygen mask on yourself first, and wishing you all the love and happiness that you start to heal yourself. So thank you everyone. Thanks Kim and Jeremy. I really appreciate everything that you guys do for us as well. So thank you everyone.
Thank you, Kim. And I'll just finish with this quote from Carolyn Main, and it's from that book that Kim referred to earlier around releasing emotional patterns. And it is, you may feel that fear may be difficult to overcome and it may inhibit your ability to do this, but love will restore you. And you are so worth it. You are worth the investment of this feelings kit and being able to do some self-care for 30 days. You know, put yourself at the top of the TV screen. So thank you, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you on one of our upcoming workshops. If you want to know what else we've got going, check out the Hot Oily Mama Facebook page or the coming events on our Hot Oily Mama website. All right, thanks everyone, and we'll see you again soon.